Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and if it's your first time here, welcome. My name is Mal and I make Tumbler tutorials here on YouTube every single week. Today's video, I know I'm a little bit behind, but today's video is a teacher appreciation tumbler. We're going to take a little spin on the classic pencil tumbler, so I really hope that you enjoy it. If you aren't able to recreate this design or make one for Teacher Appreciation Day, I know it's coming up, this would be a really good gift for the end of the school year or even in the fall for the beginning of the school year. So I really hope that you enjoy it. If you do, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button down below and make sure you're subscribed to my channel so you don't miss any of my new videos. As always, all the products I'm using in this video are linked down below in the description box. I'll also have links to all of my social media pages, including my Facebook group, Patreon group, Instagram, all of that good stuff. So if you want to follow along with me anywhere else, you can find all of those links down below. Okay, I think that's it. I really hope you like the video. Let's go! We're going to jump right in with a 20-ounce skinny straight tumbler from Craft Haven. I'm going to base paint it with flat white spray paint and use that as the adhesive for my glitter. So I glittered my cup with Brite from Peachy Olive Glitters. I added a coat of epoxy and now I'm ready to add my first vinyl element. So this is removable clear vinyl from Gracefully Created. It's a full wrap template basically. It's perfectly sized to fit a 20-ounce skinny, so I'm going to just apply this to the entire cup. I'm cutting back about maybe 1 inch to 2 inches of the backing, and I'm going to try to line this up as straight as I can. And I'm also trying to line up the bottom edge of the wrap with the very bottom of the cup. I don't want any excess hanging off the bottom for this design. I will have a little bit of excess up at the top. This will just depend on the brand of tumbler you're using. I use Craft Haven cups always, so I'll always have a little bit of overhang either on the top or the bottom, just because of the way that these tumbler wraps are sized. So once I've got my little sliver on here, I ensure that it's going to wrap around and meet up straight in the back. And then I'm going to use my felt edge squeegee scraper tool here, and just as you can see here, rub the vinyl onto the cup. I'm pushing the backing away in the process, and we're going to have a very minimal amount of bubbles doing it with this method. This is my new favorite way to apply vinyl to tumblers. It makes it so much easier. So now I'm just going to go over it once again really quick just to get any bubbles out if there are any. And then I'm going to use my cup edging tool from Cami Page Boutique. I do have a discount code down in the description box for you. And I'm just going to run the bottom edge of my cup along this little razor blade that's in this edging tool to get rid of any vinyl that is gonna maybe crinkle a little bit as it tries to go down onto the bottom of the cup. So I got rid of that, and now I'm up at the top of the cup. I'm gonna hit it with my heat gun, and I'm gonna pull that vinyl really tightly up over that top rim, and then go in with my craft knife and cut off all of that excess. And now this top area did give me a little bit of an issue later. We'll talk about it when we get there. But I cut off a little bit of this excess vinyl, and then it doesn't really matter because in this design I ended up covering it all up anyway. So I'm going to go in again with my knife at a 45-degree angle the same way I always do, just to get rid of that extra tiny little bit of vinyl that's always hanging out up there. So now moving back down to the bottom of the cup, I'm going to tape off this entire black section, and I'm going to glitter this black area for the lead of our pencil, and I'm going to glitter the very bottom of the cup. So in my little cup here, I'm taking Batman from Peachy Olive Glitters and then Sorcerer from PDB. Sorcerer is an extra fine holographic silver. So when you mix that in with your black glitter, it will ensure that that black glitter remains sparkly under epoxy. So I'm going to use my Crystallat glitter glue as my adhesive for this glitter. And I didn't base paint this black section. I should have base painted the bottom to match the black of the sides of the cup, but I just went right in with my glitter glue and applied my glitter. It ended up being fine anyway, but I would, in hindsight, go back and base paint that black. So once that dried, about 2 hours, I sprayed it with a coat of matte clear spray from Rustoleum to seal the glitter in, and then I went in with 2 coats of epoxy. Each coat was about 15 to 20 milliliters. So now the black glitter is sealed and we are ready to move on to our next step. So I'm going to take some blue painter's tape here and remove as much of the stickiness as I can. And I'm going to tape off up at the top of the cup, right where the silver portion of our pencil is. And I'm going to use this straight edge as a guide to help me place this next set of vinyl. Now this is semi-transparent vinyl from BAMF Custom Creations. So the image has white ink behind it, so it will show up on any color base. And then all of that in between white space will show up not at all because it's clear. So I'm going to measure out just how much I need, cut off all of that excess and save it for something else. And then I'm going to apply this little pink rainbow design to the middle yellow portion of our cup. So I'm using the top edge of the rainbow vinyl as my guide to help ensure that I place this straight. And I'm going to go through, and on each end I'm going to cut off these rainbows that have the edge on them. I don't want any straight edges on this design. I want the rainbows to just kind of meet up at the back of the cup and, you know, kind of meld together the same way that they do in the entire pattern. So I'm going to cut those off, and then I'm going to get to applying this to my cup. So I'm going to peel back the same way I always do with any vinyl wrap. I'm going to peel back a little bit of the backing, cut it off, and then use that sliver to help me make sure that I'm getting this on straight. So starting with the edge that still has the backing on it, I'm going to line that top edge up with my tape that I placed down, and then with another piece of tape I'm going to tape that edge down, wrap the vinyl all the way around my cup, make sure everything is where I want it to be, and then I'm going to lay down this little section that I've got the backing removed from. Make sure you remove your tape first so you don't lay your vinyl down onto your tape. But once I've got that down, I'm going to just place this clear vinyl down and then wrap it around the cup how you would just any other normal vinyl wrap. Once the vinyl was wrapped around the cup, I went in with my craft knife and just cut all of that excess off at the bottom using those little wood point lines down at the bottom of the cup as my guide, just tracing those with my craft knife. So now we've got the rainbows just on the yellow portion of our pencil. Now I'm going to go in with my striping and my vinyl detailing. So I've got some textured silver metallic vinyl from Cricut, and I'm going to apply these stripes up at the top where the metal portion of the eraser and the pencil are. So I'm going to put one at the top of the section, one at the bottom of the section, and one at the middle of the section. So I put the top down first, then the bottom, and then I'm going to go in and add that one in the middle. Then moving down to the bottom of the cup for our little pencil sharpened point areas here, I'm using the same textured vinyl from Cricut. This is just the like darker gold color, and I'm going to apply this striping here. As you can see, I'm overlapping where the points meet, and I'm going to go back through at the end and trim all of those off so that they come to a perfect point when they meet up. I always like to leave a little bit of excess versus trying to create the point on my own. I find that it's easier to overlap them and then trim off the excess, and then you're left with a perfect point. So I sprayed that down with a coat of matte clear spray, and now I'm going in with my second little round of my vinyl detailing. I added a vinyl stripe of just regular black Cal 651 vinyl down at the pencil part, and now I'm ready to add my main decal. So this SVG is from the Lettered by Stephanie SVG Club. For the month of April, she gave us a whole bunch of teacher and school themed SVGs, so this is one of them. I really love the quote. It says, "Teach the change you want to see in the world," and I really just like that. I made an offset of this SVG. I think the size was 0.04 wide. And I'm just using regular white Cal 651 vinyl for this. And then for the main part of the decal, I'm using pink opal vinyl from Craft Haven. And I'm just going to apply this right on top of that white offset, piece by piece, kind of word by word. That's just the way I roll around here. And once I had this decal placed, I sealed it with a coat of matte clear spray from Rustoleum. And I'm not sure if that's the best move here because I did have a lot of issues with micro bubbles in my epoxy just over this decal. So I'm still working out what the best method for sealing this type of vinyl to avoid that would be. So if you have any tips, let me know down below in the comments. But anyway, I sealed mine with a coat of matte clear, like I said, and I had a ton of issues with micro bubbles just right here. So that's a work in progress. I will keep you guys updated. But anyway, once you seal your vinyl, you'll be ready to go in with your next coat of epoxy. So this coat was probably about 15-ish milliliters. I'm going to apply it to the entire cup. And then once I was done with this coat, I went in to do all of my sanding. And now when I did my sanding, I sanded a little bit too much, or I don't know if it was just the white base underneath this eraser, but I sanded down a little bit too much, I think, and you can see the white base that we have underneath this wrap. So I didn't like how that looked, so I decided to tape off this pink part and then just re-glitter it. So this is another problem I had with this cup. This is like the cup that was like, no, I don't want to work for you. We're not doing it. I don't want to do things the way that you want me to do them. So anyway, I'm going to tape this off and we're going to just leave the base alone as it is. It's a good base for pink glitter because it is a pink glitter base. And I'm going to use the Crystallat glitter glue as my adhesive. And then I'm going to use Shake That for this upper part. Shake That really matches the kind of tone of the pink vinyl that we used on our decal. So I wanted to make sure that it all kind of still tied together. So I added my glitter glue and then I'm going to add a really good coat of this glitter. Shake That is a really beautiful color. I will be using it in an upcoming tutorial as well, so if you don't have it, I would recommend that you grab it the next time you place a PDB order. And you can use my discount code Mallory21 for $5 off your order of $20 or more. So once I had that glittered on, I cleaned up that top rim just a little bit. I want to avoid as much sanding up there as I can. I'm going to immediately remove my tape, let this dry at least 2 hours, and then I'm going to spray seal it with 2 coats of matte clear spray from Rustoleum, and then go in with my final, or what I thought was my final coat of epoxy. So I'm adding my epoxy here. This coat is about 20 milliliters. I'm adding it to the entire cup first before I go up and add it to the eraser part, just in case the glitter wasn't sealed enough. So I hit it with my torch, let it cure, and then when I came back to give it a look, I realized that there were all of those crazy micro bubbles that I told you about earlier. So to kind of help combat that, I'm going to add a little bit of Brite from Peachy Olive Glitters into my next coat of epoxy. Now this isn't going to completely fix the problem or completely camouflage the problem, but it will kind of help it just a little bit. So I'm going to hit it with my torch again and then we will be all done. So if you were going to see this cup through, you would go in and add your final coat of epoxy. But for me, I think this cup is done with. I think I'm going to put it right into my strip pile. I'm really not in love with how it turned out. It gave me a ton of problems. But anyway, I hope that you found some inspiration from this design. I hope you will be able to learn from a few of the mistakes that I made in this video. And if you did enjoy the video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button down below. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well so you don't miss any of my brand new videos I upload every single week. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next one. Love you. Bye.